Hello, I'm Jonasz Rewiński and this is Military Mind. Armed conflicts, defense and security, land, sea and air. We've got you covered. Now, we begin with an update from Ukraine. And overnight, Russian forces launched a massive combined attack on Ukraine, firing 242 drones and 36 missiles. Russia also used a ballistic missile known as the Oreshnik, striking the western city of Lviv. Now, Russia hit a critical infrastructure facility in Lviv with the Oreshnik ballistic missile, as confirmed by the Ukrainian officials, but also by the Russians themselves. The attack was confirmed by the city's mayor as well, who said that a series of explosions was heard shortly after the air raid alert was issued. On the morning of the 9th of January, Russia's defense ministry claimed that the strike was carried out in response to a Ukrainian attack on the residence of President Vladimir Putin. Moscow said it launched a massive retaliatory strike, including the use of the Oreshnik missile, against what it called critical Ukrainian targets. According to the Russian military, the strikes allegedly hit drone production facilities and energy infrastructure, and they claimed the objectives had been achieved. Ukraine's Air Force Command reported that the airborne target moved at a speed of around 13,000 kilometers per hour along a ballistic trajectory. The previous known use of the experimental Oreshnik ballistic system was in November 2024, when Russia struck the Pivdmash plant in the city of Dnipro. Kyiv was another major target overnight, although not with the Oreshnik missile. Russian forces carried out a combined missile and drone attack on the capital, damaging residential buildings and critical infrastructure. According to Ukraine's state emergency service, 4 people were killed and 24 were wounded, including 5 rescue workers. Meanwhile, in Russia, on the evening of the 8th of January, Ukrainian forces launched a missile strike on Belgorod. Local authorities reported serious damage to infrastructure. Regional media say the strike hit an electrical substation and a local thermal power plant. As a result, around 550,000 people in the Belgorod region were left without electricity and heating, while nearly 200,000 residents lost access to water and sewage facilities. Ukrainian forces also reportedly carried out a missile strike on the Oryol thermal power plant. Now, turning to the battlefield. In the Constantinofka direction, Ukrainian forces are creating a large gray zone where Russian units are being actively targeted and eliminated. According to Ukrainian command, Russian troops are operating in small groups, attempting to infiltrate and bypass Ukrainian positions while taking advantage of weather conditions. So far, Ukrainian officials say Russian capabilities in this sector remain at an early, technologically limited stage. The city of Constantinofka itself remains under constant artillery fire and drone attacks, even though the front line is more than 7 kilometers away. Despite the ongoing danger, civilians are still living in the city. In the Donetsk region, during a targeted raid on Russian rear positions in the Liman sector, soldiers of the Ukrainian 8th Special Operations Forces Regiment carried out a swift and effective operation. During the confrontation, 3 Russian troops were killed and 2 more were taken prisoner. The raid took place in difficult conditions, with clear coordination between groups and control of the situation. After fire contact and clearing the position, Ukrainian fighters regained full control of the area.
Плюс. Давай, гарантирую, тебя будешь жить, блядь, никаких издевательств, нахуй, пойдешь в подмену, блядь. Руки вверх! Выходи! Выходи! Вылазь! 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 Пожалуйста. Вылазь. Пожалуйста.
Сколько вас?
Не стрелять.
Сюда иди.
Сколько вас?
Сюда иди, блядь.
Ложись.
Ползи. Ползи.
Пожалуйста, не
Ползи. Лег. Лег.
Ложись.
На живот. На живот.
Перед собой. Я один. Он умер.
Один до мене.
Пожалуйста.
Лежи, завали еб...
Хорошо.
Сколько вас там?
Вдвоем выйдет.
The Ukrainian crew of a T-72B tank from the 10th Separate Mountain Assault Brigade, Edelweiss, is targeting enemy infantry groups attempting to gain a foothold on the approaches to the city of Sieviersk. The first video is from a UAV. Clear fire correction and destruction of enemy positions can be seen. Now the second angle is from an action camera mounted directly on the tank, showing the moment when the vehicle is hit twice by enemy FPV drones. Russian troops lost a ground-based robotic complex that they were supposed to use to deliver supplies to the front lines in the Donetsk region. Now, the drone did not even manage to travel a few dozen meters. Almost immediately after launch, it was blown up by an anti-tank mine. The explosion completely destroyed the robot and the cargo, which was intended to reinforce Russian units.
Ну давай, погнали. Все. И вот так производится доставка на передний край. Туда, где не можем техникой заехать. Доставляем таким образом. Лужи, не лужи. Нам все равно. И все. Вот она и поехала туда на передок.
Вот мы ее и уничтожили.
Again, unmanned ground vehicles are making huge inroads into the battlefield. Ukrainians are using them in many different applications. The Russians do not wish to be far behind, but in the end, these vehicles are not AI. Neither are they indestructible, so it's all down to the operator and his skills to avoid obstacles such as minefields. Otherwise, the whole thing will not make any sense whatsoever and will result in a total loss, just like we've just seen a few moments ago. And with this, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news, updates and commentary.